So the first Rotax Max final now heading down towards turn one. A great grid of these 125cc karts. Great battle there. It's Bill Sherlock leading in this one. Shane Daly right with him, and Richie Faulkner. We're on board with number one, Richie Faulkner now. So the three plates up the front, IRL, the O plate for the Open champion, and number one champion from last year, Richie Faulkner. So the three quick guys at the front. We can expect a good race between these guys now. Sherlock, Daly and Faulkner out front, and they've already got a little bit of a gap to the rest inside the first lap, and they're beginning to go at each other. They want the win. This one on television, of course. Richie Faulkner are very much involved in the fundraising to get this sport back on telly, so he'd like a win here, and he's got an onboard camera as well. A move down the inside for the leads. Oplate takes the lead, IRL right in there too, so Daly gets it from Sherlock, and Faulkner with the best seat in the house now on the brakes down into the first hairpin. Great stuff. I think Richie Faulkner's got up to second place. They're banging side pods. No, he hasn't. In fact, it's Daly back down the inside. I think great stuff between these guys. Really having a go back on board again with Richie Faulkner side by side. Gets through on the inside, but has to give that one away to Daly because they come up to a right-hand hairpin. Really good stuff at the front of this. And I wonder, is that going to let the leader get away? Not so just yet. And great battles all the way down the grid. This Rotax Max class, really, really good. They replaced the direct drive 100cc karts many years ago. We've got a centrifugal clutch. So if they spin, they can just restart again. They got a start button, all the luxuries, but they're very, very physical to drive. There's Daly down the inside to take that lead away. So it's still changing, and Faulkner right in there too. We're on board now with IRL. Bill Sherlock, he's going to want that lead back there down to the hairpin. He's got the head bent forward, but he's going to have to defend from Richie Faulkner. Faulkner right with him now, out onto the main straight. Not much difference. In fact, Faulkner perhaps slightly slower in a straight line, not much in it. Hugely experienced Richie Faulkner, of course, moved up into cars but loves these cars, came back down into them as always, right at the sharp end. But our leader beginning to get away in this one now. That's Shane Daly. Looks like he's maybe made a break because Sherlock knows he's got a real karting man, Richie Faulkner, right with him, and half defending perhaps, holding the centre of the road. That's going to compromise his racing line and slow him down just a little bit. And Faulkner with a big stab down the inside. And that's into the last hairpin, I think. Indeed it is. And that gets him up to second place. The three guys at the front, very, very experienced and very, very quick. Teams running all these cars. There are minute adjustments you can do to the engine, to the carbon, of course to the chassis of the car. So you can move the wheels inwards, outwards. Huge adjustment, and it does teach the drivers a little bit about setup. And karting, of course, very good for your pace and for your racecraft, but also for setup, a little bit of chassis setup. We're inside the final stages of this one now, and Shane Daly's got a chassis setup absolutely perfect. He's got away. He takes the checkered flag and the win. Richie Faulkner takes second place, and Bill Sherlock there, IRL, in third.
Shane, congratulations, a great start to the year. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, thanks very much. It was a good start. The plan was to come this year to just be thereabouts at the start. After I do my leaving cert in June, I'm hoping to do a few races in England and maybe Europe.
So back to Rotax Max for their second final of the day, and the man who won the first race, Shane Daly on the O plate. He's on pole for this one, and he duly leads that big, long, snaking pack down into turn one and heading down that short straight to the hairpin. Great stuff from him. On board now with IRL, Bill Sherlock. That's Richie Faulkner with the flashy helmet right there in front of us. Battle on straight away for the lead in this one, and again the three plates are up there, the O plate, the IRL and the one. They're always the quick guys in every class. You'll see three different events. Number one is usually for a champion for the whole year. The other two, just one weekend and winner takes all. You get that coveted O plate for the Open Championship, or the IRL for the Irish one. So we're on board with IRL. Number one, Richie Faulkner right in front of us, and Richie will be just hoping that he doesn't get attacked from behind. He'll want to get the elbows in and try and hang on to the local man, Shane Daly here, who really did just ease away in the last one. Richie Faulkner still right with him. They're very, very close. 32 next up, watch out for him. That's the UK man Martin Pearce, an ex-Irish champion, an ex-Super 1 champion in the UK, and indeed a Dartford karting ex-works driver in Europe. So he's hugely experienced, and he's very much a danger man here. He should really be up with the first three, but he's in a little bit of a battle there. If he gets through that one, he may be able to close in on him. In fact, he's just coming down there, down towards turn one. He's still in the background there, so watch out for that. That's him just taking IRL, as we mentioned him, so he's already up to third place. Great stuff from him. So he is a danger man, Martin Pearce. Hugely experienced. He's already up to third place, and next on his list now will be Richie Faulkner. Richie will be far more interested in hanging on to the O plate there. Shane Daly out in front, and he's doing that at the moment, not getting away as much as he did in race one. They're all trying very, very hard. 5th, 6th and 7th now. Good battle here. It's Shane Crosby, James Ivers and Ronan Shaw there, and Ronan Shaw looks like he's going to line it up. He does, down the inside of Ivers there. Last minute move into that second hairpin, and dodgy move going up the inside there, because if you don't make it you lose so much speed. It's a little bit uphill at the apex and you can be really slow, and he made that work perfectly. Gave Crosby a little bit of a breathing space. Now looks over his shoulder, he'll be happy to see that. So back out of the front now. No, that's 77 in fact, Conway. Aaron Sherlock right in there too. And then Cormac Ryan Meenan, who's actually a MotoGP photographer during the week. And right behind him, 99, Killian Ryan Meenan, his younger brother. Some great battles all the way down the grid. And Rotax Max, and in fact the two brothers swapping a little bit of paintwork there. And a little bit of rubber smoke being put up between the two of them. So no doubt there'll be a little bit of an interview between them later on. But good racing all the way down the field in this Rotax Max. We're inside the final lap, and Shane Daly's made that little gap. I suppose he hasn't really dominated in terms of lap times. Richie Faulkner stayed in touch, but hasn't really been able to have a go in this one. And Shane Daly looks like he's going to make it a double. He's driving superbly today. He did a great job in race one, in final one. Looks the same, but look at this. 32, the danger man, all over the back of Richie Faulkner. Now that's Pierce. And coming from a relatively lonely grid position, he's right up there now with Faulkner and looking very dangerous. Great exit out of the hairpin, tries to get alongside, doesn't manage it. Daly makes the double, Faulkner hangs on, and Pierce, the man to watch, 32, charging all the way up there to shadow Richie Faulkner across the line. Then it's Bill Sherlock, Shane Crosby, James Ivers and Ronan Shaw.
Shane, congratulations, second win today. How are you feeling?
Ecstatic, really. It was a brilliant day. Perfect start to the season. Couldn't have asked for much more. It's great to see that, karting in Ireland is improving again and the big grids are back.
So Rotax Max is heading towards us now, and it's Richie Faulkner on pole position for this one. Hugely experienced driver, gets way out of shape on the brakes there, gets it turned in very quick, very aggressive, and as you can see, a huge grid of these karts replaced 100 Nationals many years ago. Centrifugal clutch 125cc, big kamikaze manoeuvre by 32 Martin Pierce there up the inside of Cormac Ryan Meehan. Didn't work out for him. He's a great man on the brakes, ex-UK champion, but sometimes it doesn't pay off. Richie Faulkner out in front now, IRL Bill Sherlock with him, and some very, very quick drivers at the front of this class. Richie Faulkner very much involved in Irish karting and the promotion of it lately. Ronan Shaw is in second, but he's under attack now from Bill Sherlock. Sherlock down the inside and takes that second place. So Shaw back into third place now. So now it's Bill Sherlock, it's Shaw, Aaron Sherlock, Jack Lyons, son of the famous horse trainer Ger Lyons. He's right in there too. So great battles in this one. And all this battling, of course, allowing Richie Faulkner to ease away. And look at this, he's already got a great gap. Not often you see that in Rotax Max. Big confident flick as Richie throws it down into turn one. Hugely experienced, karted for years, moved up into saloon car racing, won the Punto Bar Championship 10 years ago, and now he's back in karting again. We're on board again with 32 Martin Pierce, 48, making a move there. That's Crosby, great move up the inside. We're trying to follow him. 32 Martin Pierce, a former UK champion. 33 Jack Lyons right in front of him now, and he really will be trying to move up to the grid. It's a very competitive class, and as some of these drivers were telling us earlier, it can be quite hard to pass on this track. Very much fast sweeping corners. Richie Faulkner having no problem with those sweepers at the moment as he pulls away out in front now. And this battle raging for third place. Bill Sherlock beginning to pull away just a little bit, IRL in second place. But we're on board again now with Crosby. That's 38 Shaw and 36 Aaron Sherlock in front of us. We've got by Sherlock, we've got Shaw in front of us. He's beginning to fall back. Started on the front row alongside Richie Faulkner. Doesn't really have the pace and beginning to fall back now. Lost that place on lap one. They're all kicking up dust, beginning to queue up behind him just a little bit. On board again with Martin Pierce, 33 in front of us. That's Jack Lyons. Oh, and another big move down the inside. A little bit of a kamikaze manoeuvre. Over enthusiastic, I'd say, at best from Pierce. And lands them both into the gravel. Of course, they have centrifugal clutches. They'll get back out and rejoin, but it won't do much for their track position. Faulkner still way out in front of this one. Nobody to touch him. And again, getting a little bit sideways there is Shaw. And losing another place. So beginning to fall back down through the order. So Faulkner still pulling away with the battles raging all the way down through the field now. And Shaw still in the middle of this battle, but doesn't seem to have the pace he showed in the heats to get up on the front row. And he is just beginning to, as we said, fall back. No problems now for number one, Richie Faulkner, easing out in front. We're on board now with 48 Shane Crosby, another very experienced and talented karter. And we can see Aaron Sherlock up front. Aaron Sherlock following his brother Bill there. They're in second and third place. So Crosby in fourth place. Should know this track well, heavily involved with the track. And he's on a charge. He's come up through a lot of traffic. He's up to fourth place, but I'm not sure if he can do anything about the two Sherlocks in front or even about Richie Faulkner, who's cantering away out front. Faulkner on a great run in this one. On board again with Martin Pierce and 77 on the outside there. Sean Conway goes wide. 99 Killian Ryan Meehan. Next up, we're right behind him now. And I wonder if Pierce can do one of his kamikaze manoeuvres down the inside. Indeed he can. Still on board with him, 38 and 58 absolutely together now. That's Cormac, Ryan Meehan and Ronan Shaw. We're right behind Shaw. Remember, started on the front row, still coming back, lacking a little bit of straight line speed perhaps there, but Richie Faulkner, nothing to worry about there. It's been an impeccable drive from him out front. Wasn't really bothered and used the battle behind him to pull away early on and just has controlled the gap. So Richie Faulkner in the closing stages now through that left-hand hairpin. Back down to the right-hander, nobody's going to touch him. Richie Faulkner going very, very nicely, just over a second ahead as they come to the line. Faulkner takes the win. Bill Sherlock in second, Aaron Sherlock third, Shane Crosby, our cameraman, in fourth, Shane Daly in fifth, and Cormac Ryan Meehan in sixth.
Richie, congratulations. Talk us through the race.
Thanks very much, Ciara. Yeah, I had started from pole position, so I think there was a bit of a mix-up with the first corner and I got away a bit, and then on it was just about trying to concentrate and just keep the head down.
So the kart is running all right today, no problems at all?
Yeah, no, it's going well so far. Last round out in Cork, had a few little issues, managed to get a result out of it anyway, but we think we have them sorted now, so hopefully we'll start first for final two and hopefully we can go from there.
So Rotax Max final two, and it's the finishing position which determines the grid. So that means Richie Faulkner number one starts from pole and he leads down into turn one. Bill Sherlock right with him, IRL. Now remember, in the first race Faulkner managed to ease away. Sherlock will know that. We're on board with Martin Pearce. 99 in front of him is Killian Ryan Meehan, and alongside him 58 his brother Cormac Ryan Meehan. Killian passes Cormac, Martin goes with him, and he has us on board. So great onboard footage now on the first lap of this Rotax Max final. And I think Bill Sherlock knows exactly what he's got to do here. There was a lot of shuffling around early on, allowed Richie Faulkner to get away, and he just balanced the gap beautifully. But he's looking over his shoulder. Richie knows this time he's got company. You can sometimes hear, you mightn't have mirrors in a kart, you can hear another engine, you can sense a driver right behind you, you can certainly sense a whole pack of them. So Richie Faulkner looks like he's not going to have the stroll in the park he had last time. Zero Shane Daly down the inside of Crosby there, lovely manoeuvre from him. And Crosby just left the door open trying to get a run at somebody else. Very easy to happen in kart racing, but Richie Faulkner, as we said, under more pressure in this one, not getting away as he did in final one. Still leading, however, IRL right with him, of course. On board again with Shane Crosby. We're following Zero Daly now through that left-hander, up over the curb, out onto the corrugated curves there. Really very rough on the kart, but sometimes they have to use them. So this lead train now, a great shot from the onboard camera as they come through that long left-hander. Richie Faulkner maybe one or two kart lengths more than he had, but just as I say it, Sherlock appears to close in there on the brakes, and right with him as they come through the right-hander. Richie Faulkner again uses that opportunity to look back over the shoulder, make sure there's someone behind him, and indeed there's a train behind him. Doesn't appear to have the pace perhaps that he had in race one. Faulkner now lifts the inside rear wheel through the left-hander, back down to this tight right-hander. Oh, we can see it from Shane Crosby's on board. Leaves the door open and down the inside Sherlock, and NASCAR style Richie Faulkner is left out there. Drops 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 places. So Faulkner there way back, just had to lift off the power when Sherlock committed that beautiful dive down the inside. On board again, speaking of dives down the inside with Martin Pearson, there he goes by 99 again. He really is last in the late breakers. Ryan Meehan dispatched, and next on his list is number one. So hero to zero there a little bit for Richie Faulkner. Last lap now, and Sherlock it is leading, having put that beautiful move on Faulkner. But we're on board with Martin Pearce now, and he'll fancy a go at number one, Richie Faulkner. Faulkner a little bit wide there, gets back into the apex, goes out wider. There we are, down the inside again. That really is a favourite passing manoeuvre for Martin Pearce in Rotax Max, and he's put away Faulkner there inside the closing stages of this one. So Daly it is up to second place. Good run for him. Sherlock there, IRL's driven beautifully, shadowed Faulkner, nailed him down the inside into that last right-hander. We're on board now with Shane Crosby out the back, but here we are in the closing stages, and IRL Bill Sherlock, again no problem for him through the last right-hander here. Just 2 corners still to go. Shane Daly close enough, and Sherlock through the left-hander. That's a danger zone, comes back through the kink, and leaves the door wide open. Unusual there, because that's the very place that he put the move on Faulkner. So Daly down the inside and takes the win, and Sherlock there in second place. Aaron Sherlock in third, Shane Crosby in fourth, Martin Pearce fifth, and Richie Faulkner in sixth.
Shane, a fantastic race. You just stole it there at the very end.
Just about, it was a tough day all day. We were struggling at the start with it in the first heat, and then a crash in the second heat, and just delighted now to get that win under my belt. So
Rotax Max final number one, the big boys now, and it's Shane Daly, zero on pole position. That's the O-Plate champion. We're on board with Shane Crosby, very much a danger man now. He's having a go at number 36 in front of him. That's Aaron Sherlock, the younger of the two Sherlock brothers. And right in front of him, in fact, is his brother Bill Sherlock. So two Sherlocks together on track now, trying to hang on to Shane Daly. He's won on this class before, so they'll want to have a go at him. Richie Faulkner further down the grid, another danger man. Not so much on the pace today, but maybe he can come back up through them as this gets going. Daly beginning to get away. Shane Crosby will want to get by these Sherlocks. Here we're on board with him again, 48. Must have heard me down the inside. That's one of them dispatched. Just IRL to go now. Bill Sherlock, Crosby on a charge. And the reason he's on a charge, he knows Shane Daly might get away. And he's having a look around. He's split the two Sherlocks now. Can he have a go at IRL? Bill Sherlock looks very, very threatening. Crosby, we're on board with him again. Great shots. We're right with IRL now as we come through the double right-hander in over the curbs. Having a real go, just looking for an overtaking spot, and he really wants to get this out of the way quick. You can sense by the body language now of Crosby that it's urgent. He wants to get up the front and have a go at the O-Plate man out in front. So Crosby up to second place, right with IRL, then right in over that curb on the left-hand side. Gives him a good run through the hairpin, then through the kink right and left. Monstering the curbs, all of them there as they come through. These guys very, very aggressive. Most of them very, very experienced in this class. We're on board again. Takes more curb and gets a better run perhaps as he gets through. Is side by side, and IRL has to lift through that one. Great move there. So Aaron Sherlock, Bill Sherlock I should say now, back to third place, and we on board are up to second place. And already beginning to pull away now, Shane Crosby. Fastest lap for him that time round, so good stuff. He's closing in on the leader now. It's a big, big charge, but I wonder, has he taken too long to get by the Sherlocks? Because we're on board with the leader now, and a clear track out in front. Doesn't have to go defensive. Perfect lines. Just pulling away with the danger man lapping quicker than him in second place, and pulling away from the two brothers who are having a bit of brotherly love there for third place. They both want that final step of the podium. It's IRL Bill Sherlock just leading from his younger brother Aaron Sherlock. So that's 44 Enda Grath and 15 Owen Holligan right with him. Good midfield battle here. 15 right in over that left-hand curve. Generally gives you a good exit. Does give him a good exit, and he's right with him now as they go through that left, right, and certainly 15 Holligan a lot more aggressive with the curbs now, and maybe Grath's being a little bit defensive, but Holligan really having a go. Great midfield battles always in Rotax Max, and these two look very, very equally matched. And in fact, 15 Holligan reaching back. Usually they have a flap over the radiator. They can open and close that during the race. They don't adjust the mixture, I'm told. But a big sideways moment for 44 there. So pushing well. Inside the closing stages now, and the leader is well ahead in this one. But Richie Faulkner, the man on the move, number one, he's dispatched a few others, and he's closed right in on the two Sherlocks now. So a last lap charge for Richie Faulkner. Nothing Crosby could do, unfortunately. It looks like a few problems for him late on in the race. The two Sherlocks still battling, and Richie Faulkner right with them. Zero takes it. The charging Crosby in second place. Bill Sherlock in third. Aaron Sherlock in fourth. Then it's Richie Faulkner and Killian Ryan Meehan in sixth.
Shane, many congratulations. Another win. You're on fire so far this season.
Thanks very much. I wouldn't say on fire. It's been hard all year. There's a lot of competition there, and even there it was tough going. Like, I had to push as hard as I could to keep that gap, and even towards the end Shane was starting to pull me in a bit, so I had to push to the end. So it's tough going the whole way.
So Shane Daly, it is on pole, but a little bit of a tardy get away from him now. And Crosby it is from the outside of the front row, 48 who takes it. We're on board with Daly now as he tries to track down number 48. So good stuff, opportunistic start there, and gets the lead down from the outside of the front row. We've seen that done a few times today. Daly in second place now, and Aaron Sherlock, it looks like, right with him. So Sherlock will be looking to have a go. Oh, not that quick down the inside. Aaron Sherlock takes that place from Shane Daly, and Sherlock in front of us, 36, and that's Bill Sherlock on the right hand side trying to have a go. Bill Sherlock doesn't make it. Daly holds him off, but an opportunistic Richie Faulkner throws it down the inside, and Bill Sherlock unfortunately back two places in that one. So on board with Daly now. That's Aaron Sherlock, 36 in front of him, looking for a good run onto the back straight. Look at Crosby's made a great run early on while these boys are fighting away. He just got the head down and got away. So Richie Faulkner closer to the front of this one. Watch out for 73 Craig Breen, not too far away from the leaders in this one. It's been a good showing from him. Plenty of pace, so not at all rusty. Oh, Shane Daly down the inside, takes that second place back. Really will want to get back up there to Crosby, but a little bit of work to do. As you can see, Crosby is way down the road. Looks like Richie Faulkner making that move as well. I think he is. So Faulkner up to third place, and Crosby it is out in the lead still. Daly in second place, Faulkner now in third place. Then it's Sherlock. All the rest comes streaming through, and Daly is beginning to ease away. A lot of work to do if he's going to try and chase down the leader. This is the exact reverse of what happened in final one. Mistake there, looked like for Richie Faulkner, the cart a little bit sideways, and that slowed him coming out of that hairpin, and nothing the Sherlocks could do. And Shane Daly jumping in the cart, very frustrated probably at the early laps there, at the fact that he got boosted back to third place or shoveled back to third place, and then had to fight back up to second place. But now he's got a big ask on his hands if he's going to close the leader down. 48, way out in front. This is Richie Faulkner now with the Sherlocks right with him. Craig Breen in this one as well. Watch out for number 73. He's right in the middle of this battle. Come through this long left-hand corner. You see some of the quick guys taking loads of inside curb to maximize their line, through the next right-hander, all in over that left-hand curb. Faulkner now under pressure from Aaron Sherlock, with Bill Sherlock right there too. And next up is Craig Breen, 73, so he's mixing it with the big boys in this one. This is what we wanted to see from Craig Breen. Fantastic, straight back into a Rotax Max after a few years, and he's right on the pace and up there with the front runners. We're on board with the leader now, 48, Shane Crosby. He got the head down early on. We're on the last lap now, heading to the finish, and as you can see, full wide racing lines, using all the track, doesn't have to go defensive. Hugely experienced Shane Crosby, went up into gearbox karting, but came back down into Rotax Max, loves the Maxes, and very, very experienced, using all that experience today, and nothing Crosby can do. Mistake from Richie Faulkner though, leaves him out on the outside, and Sherlock takes that place back from him. So Richie Faulkner on the last lap loses that possible final podium position, but nobody touching Shane Crosby in this one. He's way out in front from the first corner. He was gone down the road despite Shane Daly's best efforts. We'll follow him now to the long right-hander out onto the back straight for the last time. There's Shane Daly pulling away from the back gap behind him, possibly closing the gap down to the leader, but it's too little too late. Shane Crosby has controlled it beautifully, and he takes the win. Daly in second place, Aaron Sherlock in third, Richie Faulkner in fourth, and incredibly Craig Breen in fifth place.
Shane, congratulations, you got off to a great start. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, I knew I had the pace to just get a break in the start, get a few solid laps at the start, and should be alright from there. Went alright. I couldn't really see behind me, I was concentrating more on going forward, but I don't know how close they were at the start, but I had a comfortable gap at the end. So
First of the Rotax Max finals now, 125cc sealed engines, centrifugal clutches, very quick machines, and a lot of quick drivers out here. And that's Shane Daly starting this one on pole position. He's down the inside and hangs onto the lead. Richie Faulkner was alongside him. He's been driven slightly wide. Looks like Martin Pearce perhaps up to second place. Or is that Bill Sherlock? We'll see as they come through. We're on board now with Martin Pearce, and that in fact is Bill Sherlock in front of him, IRL. So Martin Pearce, very experienced karter, and he's in third place now. Richie Faulkner obviously have been elbowed back out of the top three, but look at that lead early on now for Shane Daly. He really has got away. Faulkner's fought his way back up to second place. IRL next, Bill Sherlock, and right with him is 32, Martin Pearce. Good battle now between these two. Pearce trying to have a go right in his wheel tracks, looking for a gap anywhere. Great onboard shot now with IRL in front. And lifting an inside free wheel there, IRL. Martin Pearce tries to get alongside on the exit of the corner, but Sherlock making no mistakes. Door perhaps a little bit open, and we're down the inside now, 32 into that last corner. That sometimes can slow you out onto this straight. Not on this occasion. Gets ahead now, getting the head down, looking to reel in Faulkner, but Sherlock right with him. So third and fourth where it's happening, but it may be beginning to just inch up on Richie Faulkner now, number one. All the time out in front, Shane Daly beginning to ease away, having a quick look over his shoulder there and then just getting the head down, but he is putting in quicker laps. Faulkner now definitely falling back into the clutches of Martin Pearce. Now we're looking at 77, Sean Conway. He's under pressure from 25, Ayrton Sherlock, and 39, David Burke. So these three having a really good battle. Sherlock there in the middle of this one. He's looking to close in on 77, Conway. Conway a little bit sideways on the way out. Is that going to allow Sherlock down the inside? I think it is. He's down the inside there. If he can stay later on the brakes, should be able to... Oh, but gets a little bit sideways and collects Conway there. And both of them off. But look at that. Centrifugal clutch is just on with the power, and away you go again. So no problem, they both rejoin. Now Faulkner has dropped back into the clutches at 32, Martin Pearce. And Pearce, of course, has brought with him IRL Bill Sherlock. So Pearce now down the inside of Faulkner, looking for that second place. Looks like he's got it from this angle. I think he has. He looks over his shoulder. Richie Faulkner still there. Richie won't be too happy about this. Was in a comfortable second place, just fell back into the clutches of these two, and 32 Martin Pearce attacks straight away, has taken that place away from Richie Faulkner, and Sherlock now will be looking to do the same for the final podium position. So I think this is where the battle's going to be. No one touching Shane Daly at this stage. On board now with 32, up over that inside curve, same again on the right hand side, very aggressive stuff from him, right out to the outside onto that back straight to get the best run he can. Richie Faulkner trying to get a toe from him, and the same with IRL now. These very quick 125cc machines, No moves being made just there. We're looking at the leader, Shane Daly, now. Closing stages of this one. No problem for him. Round the long left-hander, right out to the outside and heading across to take the checkered flag. A strong win for him. Martin Pearson second place. Richie Faulkner takes third. And IRL Bill Sherlock in fourth place. Then it's Aaron Sherlock and Killian Ryan Meehan.
Shane, another great win. You're having a fantastic season.
Yeah, it's been a good start. It hasn't been easy really, to be honest. Everyone's really fast this year, and we just seem to be getting lucky at the right times. In that race there, just got a good break off the start and pulled a bit of a gap. I think the boys behind were actually a bit faster, it was good. We just managed to stay out in front.
So Rotax Max final two now. Shane Daly with the distinctive orange helmet starting this one on pole, but a little bit tardy, and his side of the grid definitely getting a worse start than the outside of the grid. We're on board now with Richie Faulkner. That's 0 in front of us, Shane Daly, but look at this, around the outside. IRL Sherlock is there, 32 Martin Pearce. He was first on the left-hand side of the grid, and Shane Crosby from well back as well. A good start from him, 48. And so it's all mixed up a little bit, but 32 Martin Pearce, incredibly experienced driver. He's out in front of this one. And he's finished second before in the World Championships and a former British champion, so that'll tell you how sharp this class is. He's up the front, but under big pressure already from IRL Sherlock and everybody else having to go. Crosby in there too. Daly down the inside of Crosby, though, and takes that third place back. He'll be eager to get back to the front. Started from pole position, didn't get away well, and fell back to fourth place. He's up to third and certainly looking very threatening now. Sherlock next on his list. 32 Martin Pearce out in front in this one though. First four perhaps beginning to inch away in the early stages. 125cc Rotax engines, really quick machine, centrifugal clutch and an electric start on them, so all very close. The engines are sealed, as we said. They've got a power valve, so they're quicker than the Mini Max class, and you'll see that on the back straight when they really get up to speed. Here they come again. Shane Daly in third place now. We're on board again with Richie Faulkner. That's Conway in front, 77. Sean Conway getting a little bit out of shape, but Richie doesn't really get a run, or does he? Gets almost alongside. He's going to have to be really late on the brakes here to get by. Down the inside, just fractionally later on the brakes, and takes that place. But if they keep scrapping like this, maybe he can get up to them. Still 32, the experienced man out in front. The danger man in the class now with the orange helmet, 0, Shane Daly, championship leader, and he's in second place, looking to close down Pearce now. Would he be lucky not to be attacked again? Because that's Shane Crosby, I think, up another place, up to third place there, putting Sherlock down a place. So Crosby still on a charge, 48. He's up to third place now. Can he close in on the leaders? But already Pearce under attack now from Daly. Daly right with him as they go through the right-left complex. They're having a look down the inside. Doesn't make it on that occasion, but certainly looks like he's got plenty of pace. We're on board with the leader. Clear track ahead. If we were looking back, it'd be a lot different. And here he comes now. Daly right with him. Martin Pearce keeping the head down, trying to get the best run he can down the straight, but down the inside. Good move there for 0. Daly takes the lead. Nothing Martin Pearce can do about that. He'll have to fight back straight away, or Daly may begin to pull away. Crosby now in third place, and is that possibly Richie Faulkner up to fourth place? I think it is. So going well and charging, probably a little bit too late in this race for him, but didn't get a good start. He's picked off a few of them. That's Sherlock. He's picked off on Conway, of course, earlier on. He's up to fourth place now and closing in on Shane Crosby. But the battle for the lead, all about these two. Daly in front, Martin Pearce right with him still, looking to have a go back. They're through that long right-hander. Through the left. Faulkner now is definitely closing in on third place, man, but that should slow them down and let the leaders away even more. Here they come out onto the back straight. The first 5 well clear of anybody else now. And a little bit defensive, going to the right, doesn't want to leave the door open at all. He knows Martin Pearce has a run, and Pearce down the outside, switches back beautifully to the inside, gets alongside, gets the nose ahead, but the next one's a left-hander. Last corner time now. We're on board with Richie Faulkner. 48 fires it down the inside. It's all gone wrong for Martin Pearce. Nearly loses the place to Faulkner. Cracking stuff, and a grandstand finish from the Rotax Maxes. And as they cross the line, Shane Daly takes the win from Crosby, Pearce, Faulkner, Sherlock, and Killian Ryan Meehan. So the big boys now, the Rotax Max grid comes towards us. A lot of talent in this one, a lot of experience too. Charlie Eastwood started from pole position, Richie Faulkner on the outside of the front row, and that's the order they lead the pack in through the first corner. So Eastwood it is leading now, number 8, Richie Faulkner right with him, and Faulkner down the inside, attack straight away. Unusual overtaking manoeuvre, we haven't seen that done today so far, but it worked for Richie Faulkner, and he now leads. We're on board with Shane Daly, number 0. He's done a lot of the winning here before. Bill Sherlock just in front of us, IRL, so good battles already developing in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 karts together. On board with 0, Shane Daly. He's still right behind IRL now, looking for an opportunity to get past. Pulls out down the inside, takes that third place, made that look a little bit easy. Let's see if he can close up now on Richie Faulkner and Charlie Eastwood out front, because they're beginning to pull away. Eastwood, remember, had pole position, but Faulkner just dived by halfway around the first lap, and he now leads this one. So it's Faulkner and Eastwood out front. On board now with Charlie Eastwood. Richie Faulkner has a look over his shoulder, just adjusts. That's the flap that covers the radiator. They cover that down to let these carts get up to temperature, and they open the flap 1 or 2 laps in to let them run at a normal temperature. So Faulkner's got that out of the way and get the head down now and try and pull away, but Eastwood looks very quick and threatening behind him, and of course very much a danger man in third place. On board again with Eastwood. These guys monstering the curbs. They're very aggressive with these little Rotax Max carts, but look at this, the orange helmet Daly, Zero, coming right up behind these two now, having left the rest behind. Shane Crosby, no answer for him there, and Daly already right with number 8. So 1, 2, 3 together now. Faulkner leads this one. Eastwood has a double problem here. He wants to get by Faulkner, but he also has to defend from Zero, because Shane Daly very much on a charge here. Down the inside, good late braking manoeuvre, driving Charlie Eastwood a little bit wide. Eastwood recovers right with him again, but Daly up to second place now and will want to try and catch Richie Faulkner, and looks over his shoulder. There's the hiding signal pointing at Richie Faulkner, wanting Charlie Eastwood to give him a hand. I think it's every man for himself in this one. And here's back 48 Crosby, IRL Bill Sherlock, 99 Killian Ryan Meehan, and 36 Aaron Sherlock battling away, and that is actually for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th place. So Crosby there couldn't stay with the first 3, but he's leading this battle, and a hectic battle it is. IRL Bill Sherlock all over him now, through the left-hander, down the hill through the right-hander. Killian Ryan Meehan in there too, we've seen him on this programme before, and indeed Aaron Sherlock too. So a good battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. So Crosby hanging on there. Again, he'll be doing his best to try and stay in front of this group, even though he couldn't do anything about the leaders. But if you're battling away like this, it will slow you down just a little bit. Crosby hanging on. There's the race to the flag. Richie Faulkner takes it just about. Shane Daly with him. Charlie Eastwood in 3rd place. But here's Crosby, and look at this. He goes defensive. IRL Bill Sherlock having a last-minute go round the outside, side by side, coming up to the right-hander now. Crosby should be able to hang on. Indeed he does, but only just. Great battle in that one. So the results there, Richie Faulkner takes it, Shane Daly in 2nd, Eastwood in 3rd, Shane Crosby, Bill Sherlock and Killian Ryan Meehan. Final 2 now, it's Faulkner on pole, Daly alongside him. Faulkner leads away, Daly tries to get back across the inside, doesn't make it, gets boxed out. IRL just leaving him out there. That's Bill Sherlock, and it's not working out at all for Daly, dropping back behind 48.99, getting by him there as well, so he's well back. Very distinctive orange helmet Daly, we'll keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, it's Faulkner from Eastwood up front. So Richie Faulkner, number 1, leads the 2nd final in a row, looking to do the double. Very hard class, this very competitive though, and he'll be doing well to stay out in front here. On board with Charlie Eastwood now, and that's a close quarters, great view of Richie Faulkner now. Faulkner looks over his shoulder, but knows exactly who's behind him. I'm sure he's looking for Daly's orange helmet, but Daly way back. Not the man he's got to worry about just yet, because Faulkner drifting the car through the right-hander has got Charlie Eastwood all over him. Eastwood 2nd currently in the UK Super 1 Championships, and comes from a famous karting family. We're on board with Daly, and he's beginning to pick his way back up through them already. 48 Shane Crosby next on his list now. Distinctive blue helmet on Crosby right in front of Shane Daly. So a little bit of work to do for Daly, but meanwhile it's Faulkner leading up front. On board now with Daly. Down the inside again, does make it look a little bit easy, just fires it down the inside, and he's up another place. So a little bit of work to do before he gets the next one, but he's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, up to 5th place now. Faulkner beginning to ease away out front, number 1, won the championship last year, and hasn't had so many wins this year, but looking like he could do the double today. 36 gets a little bit sideways, that's Aaron Sherlock, and Daly has a look at him, but Sherlock doesn't let him through on that occasion, through that fast right hand corner. Faulkner beginning to get away now out in front. Charlie Eastwood doesn't have an answer for him at this stage. Eastwood, remember, started on pole for final number 1, but Faulkner got by him early on. This one he didn't have to, started from pole, he's led away and hasn't put a foot wrong so far. So the order now is Faulkner from Eastwood, then it's Sherlock, but Daly down the inside of Aaron Sherlock there and takes another place. So really on a charge now is 0 Shane Daly, and next on his list, a little bit of retribution perhaps IRL, but he makes that look easy but goes wide. IRL Sherlock fights back, a little bit of contact up over the side of him onto the curbs and straight on, and that's slowed him right down. But a little bit of action there, a little bit of elbowing from these two guys. Obviously no love lost there, IRL and 0, but 0 now back on his recovery drive, but he's lost a lot of ground, and that has let Richie Faulkner and Eastwood away up the road. But he is back at the front of this group now as they come back towards us. Shane Daly, the Cork man, So up to third place now, Daly, and then it's Sherlock, and then Crosby behind him. Crosby down the inside, big late move and a big drift, loses it again on the way out. Very committed stuff from Shane Crosby. And the closing stages of this one now, nobody to touch Richie Faulkner in this one. Lap times very similar all the way down the field, but here they come back towards us one more time. Some good midfield battles there. With Crosby falling to Bill Sherlock there down the inside, IRL, and also taking Killian Ryan Meehan with him. So a bad day for Shane Crosby, and a very experienced karter. We've seen him win before. He went up into 125s and came back down into Rotax Maxes, but should really be at the front with Faulkner and just not having a good day at the races today. It can happen in karting, of course, but just being bundled out of the way there, and I'm sure he won't be happy with this performance at all. Unlike Richie Faulkner, number one up front, nobody to touch him. There's Daly. He's had a good charge up through the grid, but that incident with Sherlock early on slowed him a little bit, and there's no way he was going to get anywhere up near the leaders. But the pack coming streaming back through the right-hander now in the last closing stages, on the last lap, in fact, in this one now. And there goes Richie Faulkner. He takes the double win. Impressive stuff for him. Eastwood takes second place. Daly charges up to third place. Then it's Aaron Sherlock, Bill Sherlock, and Killian Ryan Meehan.
Charlie, third place in the first race and now second. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad result. This is the first round of the Irish we've done this year. We've been concentrating on the British and the European, so we just came over here to try and get a bit more testing, and we found out a lot, so it was pretty good.
So as ever, huge grid of Rotax Max now. Shane Crosby it is going to start on pole position. Richie Faulkner on the outside. Faulkner with a brave run around the outside, takes the lead. That's a good move to the long right-hander there. Manages to contain it, hugely experienced. We're on board with 21 Cormac O'Neill, the two Bolans coming together on the inside. He gets right round the outside and rejoins the action. 68 Colin McLaughlin now right in front of him, through the left-hander down to the right-hand hairpin. Oh, but we're out of shape. We've gone around. You get dizzy watching that. 92 involved there. David Williamson as well. And it looks like these two guys are out. The cart's interlocked. That's a shame. Somebody else involved in there as well. That looks like 35 possibly, is it? Here they come. Richie Faulkner just lifting the flap that closes off the radiator on these Rotax Max carts. Once they're up to temperature, they increase the airflow by lifting that nice and calmly. He's getting away, but he's bringing Shane Crosby with him. These two guys really experienced. Shane Daly in third place. He's done a lot of winning before in this class, but doesn't seem to have an answer early on to the pace of these two guys. Richie Faulkner now and Shane Crosby beginning to ease away inside the first lap here. Shane Crosby now has a lot of pressure on behind. It looks like that's possibly the two Sherlocks. Indeed it is. That's Aaron Sherlock right with him and Ayrton Sherlock right behind him. So the Sherlocks piling on the pressure now. Daly closing the door on the inside. That'll slow him and let the front two away, and he won't want that. Daly usually right at the front, but certainly doesn't have an answer to these two boys today. Faulkner again leads out onto the long back straight. Doesn't have to defend. He's got about a 2 kart length gap back to Crosby. Looks over his shoulder there. Doesn't have to defend, as we said, and just flicks the kart through the last corner. Looking very comfortable in this one now. Richie Faulkner. Daly under huge pressure now from Aaron Sherlock. Ayrton Sherlock having dropped back just by a length or two, but Aaron Sherlock piling the pressure on Shane Daly here. Daly very experienced. He won't want to leave a gap down the inside, but certainly this won't be his day. Urging the kart on, beginning to jump up and down. On board now, great shot from 25 Ayrton Sherlock. That's Aaron Sherlock right in front of us, and just in front of him he's looking at the back of Daly's kart. So a great battle now for third place here. Down to the left-hander, and again he turns in a little bit early. Doesn't want to leave a gap there, Daly, and that'll slow him down just a little bit, but I'm sure he's more worried about staying on the podium now than catching the two leaders, because they've pulled away so much. There's the gap on the back straight, and look at Daly putting his head down, just trying to hold back these two guys behind. IRL it is next up, and the two Bolans coming now in the 97 and 98. So that's Andrew leading Michael. The two beautifully liveried NVD carts come from a famous motorsport family, of course, huge heritage, and they would have been right on the pace in this one, but as we saw, they tangled early on. They're still going, running in formation now and just fighting against each other. 97 Andrew just holding off the identical kart 98 of Michael. Out of the hairpin now, back through the kinks, still doing good lap times, but out of touch as regards a top result because of that earlier tangle. So here they come now through the right hand kink, back through the left, both taking the exact same lines. No attack on just yet, maybe working in formation to try and close the gap. We're back on board with Ayrton Sherlock again, and he's slipping back slightly from brother Aaron, who's still piling the pressure on Daly. 0, of course, meaning that Daly won the O plate, which is one of the plate kart meetings. Here we're heading towards the final. We're inside the final lap now, in fact, and Daly hanging on. Is there going to be a last lap attack from Aaron Sherlock? He's certainly right on the back bumper there, but Daly with a good run out of the hairpin, that'll probably save him. Here comes Richie Faulkner. Absolutely dominant performance for him in this one, and Shane Crosby with him, but not able to challenge. Richie Faulkner takes a fine win. Crosby in second place. Shane Daly hangs on for third place, just ahead of Aaron Sherlock. Then it's Ayrton Sherlock and Bill Sherlock rounding out the top 6.
Richie, congratulations. A well-fought race between yourself and Shane Crosby.
Thanks very much. I qualified second and Shane qualified in pole, and I managed to get the jump at the start and get by him, and then I just kind of went from there and I was lucky enough I just managed to squeeze through and get a win. A hard start to the year, I didn't have great results, but I've won the last 3 finals in a row now, so hopefully this will continue a bit longer. Maybe I can keep the championship for another year.
So Rotax Max final 2, Richie Faulkner starts this one on pole position. Can he hang on to it? Oh, I don't think so. Crosby just replicates the move that Faulkner did in final number 1 on board with Cormac O'Neill, 98 Boland, 97 Andrew Boland in there, IRL, Bill Sherlock, all shuffling for position. Great onboard shot inside the first lap in this one now. But just look at the lead that Crosby's got. He's streaked away in this one. In fact, that's Sherlock. It's Ayrton Sherlock up to second place, and Richie Faulkner finds himself back in third place. But just look at Crosby go. He really has just left him sitting on the first lap in this one. They're at the hairpin already, and he's 4, 5, 6 kart lengths ahead. So all the shuffling and elbowing going on down the pack, not bothering Shane Crosby in this one. So Faulkner with a little bit of work to do. He's got Shane Daly 0 all over him. One of the Bolands next up, but Richie Faulkner certainly back in third place. He'll have to get by Sherlock early on if he's going to do anything about the incredible early race pace of Shane Crosby. On board again with Cormac O'Neill. That's IRL. Bill Sherlock still in front of us. So let's see if he can do anything about that. 98 is in there too. That's Michael Boland just in front of him, but IRL trying to get by 98 Boland now. Crosby still well ahead. I think that's somebody that's rejoined, just going wide, letting them through. It's 25 Sherlock still there in second place. Then it's 1 Faulkner. 0 Daly right with him. Faulkner again a little bit defensive on the way down to the hairpin. They don't want to leave any gaps if they got a really quick guy behind them, and all this is working out to help Shane Crosby, who is absolutely streaking away. Sherlock it is next up. Faulkner just removing that flap we spoke about from the radiator there, and then Shane Crosby 0 right with him. Very closely matched, these guys. One of the hardest fought classes in karting at the moment, and of course one of the bigger grids too. Great to see these guys battling away. Richie Faulkner comes from a great motorsporting family, but he's got huge karting experience, won a few championships, moved up to cars, won the Fiat Punto Barth championship, and has moved back to karts and runs, as we see, right at the front. But a little bit of work for him to do under pressure from Daly, and again he has to defend on the inside through the hairpin. He knows Daly's right behind him, and that makes Daly a little bit quicker on the exit. He's right with Faulkner now, and again Faulkner has to turn in that little bit early, and that will slow you down on the way out. But down the inside, IRL, good move there from Bill Sherlock to get by 98 Boland. Last minute, just last of the late breakers, and we've gone a little bit wide, and that's 97 Boland gone by us there, so great action all the way down. 25 Sherlock still hanging on. Faulkner beginning to pile the pressure on now. Has got away just a little bit from Shane Daly, and certainly looking very threatening now for this second place, but nobody touching Crosby out front. Oh, there's the move down the inside from Richie Faulkner. Great move, and brings Shane Daly with him. So Sherlock compromised there by that move, just couldn't get turned in, and 0 taking the opportunity to fill that gap down the inside. So now it's Faulkner second, Shane Daly third, and Sherlock there in fourth place. So that seems to be where the battle is in this one. There at the top of your screen, you can just see Crosby well ahead of the action here. So Faulkner still, will he charge away or will he have to defend here? This could develop into a big scrap. We're on board now at 25, Ayrton Sherlock. There's the two boys in front, second and third place. And just that speck in the distance is our leader, Shane Crosby. But it's closed up now. We're jumping forward towards the end of this one. Faulkner's banged in a number of fastest laps and closed right in on Shane Crosby now. So in they go towards this internal loop. Over the curbs, Crosby pushing very hard. We're on the last lap now, and Faulkner right with him. Faulkner taking a wide line. Looks like he's going to have a go, surely, somewhere around here. They've dropped Shane Daly, but this first 3 well ahead of anyone else. And Faulkner hasn't had a look just yet. Through the hairpin, here they come. Through the right left for the last time now. Crosby hanging on out front. Faulkner right with him, closes in again on the brakes. Can he have a look down the inside? Oh, Crosby goes wide. Faulkner gets through, and I'm not sure if that was a mistake from Crosby or just what happened there, but Faulkner now leads. Crosby in second place and Shane Daly in third. So sensationally, Faulkner looking like he's going to do the double. Crosby looking like he's going to have a look down the inside. Doesn't do it on that occasion, and Richie Faulkner takes another win in the dying stages of that one. So Richie Faulkner takes the win. Shane Crosby in second, Shane Daly in third, Ayrton Sherlock in fourth, Bill Sherlock fifth, and Michael Boland rounding out the top 6. Final one for Rotax Max heading away now, and as ever, a huge grid of these machines. And a big brave run by 48 round the outside. Shane Crosby rebuffed by the local hero Shane Daly. He's the hot shoe for the championship. This year, he's been very, very competitive all year, and this, of course, is his home circuit. So he leads the pack now in the infield. Number 1, Richie Faulkner right in there too. 49, Dara Cormac, straight up from KF3, and no respect for the big boys. A little bit older than him, some of these, but look at this, a challenge up front. IRL gets down the inside, Bill Sherlock, and takes the lead from Shane Daly. So Sherlock going beautifully here. Shane Daly fighting back, of course. Here they come out onto the main straight. Daly surely have a go down into turn 1. Sherlock thinks so and blocks, but not enough, because down the inside goes Daly. Zero a little bit wide though as a result, mid-corner, and takes it straight back. So this is a good battle up front. IRL, and the IRL plate holder. Richie Faulkner, it looks like, right in there too. Oh, contact there with Richie Faulkner and Shane Daly, and both off. I'm hoping they intertangled wheels, because that looked a little bit nasty. But that's removed them both well down the order anyway. And I wonder, will that hurt Shane Daly's championship prospects? He can win the championship in this race. IRL Bill Sherlock out in front now. Lovely line out onto the main straight. He'll be delighted with this one, but he's got big pressure, because Crosby it is right with him. And Crosby slides it down the inside there. And great onboard shot now. Brennan take overalls. That's Noel Brennan runs these teams. Great kart racer, of course, and so was his father before him, Johnny Brennan. So Noel Brennan now running some of these guys in Rotax Max. Here they come again into the infield section. Last of the late breakers, but hanging on out in front. So Crosby it is now from IRL Sherlock. Dara Cormac in there in third place. And that looks like perhaps Aaron Sherlock in there too. So great battles. We're missing, of course, Daly and Faulkner. They've dropped way down the order. I think Daly may be slightly further up than Faulkner, but we'll keep an eye on that. So out onto the main straight now again, down towards this long, and you can hear the carters just stabbing the throttle there, trying to balance the carts and open the throttle as soon as they can. Move down the inside there for third place. That's Aaron Sherlock, I think, taking that place away from Dara Cormac. They're back up towards us again and beginning to inch out. Just in front is Shane Crosby, driving really well, using all the curbs. That was a sign that a kart driver is really pushing, taking a little bit of inside curb and leaning into the corner as he gets around the last hairpin. Through the kink now, beginning to open that gap just a little bit. Onboard man IRL in second place, Bill Sherlock. Briefly led, good move early on, but nothing he can do at this stage about Shane Crosby. Again, a few spots of rain on the camera. We're inside the final lap. It's closing up for that third place battle now. Crosby it is from Sherlock, and Aaron Sherlock in third place. Dara Cormac in fourth place. Killian Ryan Meehan in there too. And Martin Pearce, a hugely experienced karter. He's done very well in these races before, but at the back of the leading group now in this one. So not a great day by his lofty standards. But out in front and absolutely delighted, as we'll see now. The head goes back, he punches the air. Shane Crosby takes a superb win in Rotax Max. Great stuff. Bill Sherlock takes second place. Aaron Sherlock in third. Then it's Cormac, Meehan and Martin Pearce.
Shane, congratulations, a great win. Can you talk us through it?
Two of the front running lads came off in one of the earlier laps, so it was easy just to pick off one driver after that. So after that I just kept a few solid laps and pulled away a bit, so it was enough to win the race in the end.
You were confident enough that you could hold the lead once you had it?
Not really, but it just played it as it went.
So Rotax Max final two. Crosby and Sherlock on the front row and almost kissing wheels on the way down to turn one. Watch out for the orange distinctive helmet of Shane Daly in the middle of the pack. He can win the championship in this one, the local man. Big battles now, IRL having a look, but 48 Shane Crosby leads it from Sherlock, and all the rest fighting away. Great grid, as we said, of these Rotax Maxes, but the first two beginning to battle now. Good move by Sherlock, switches back across to the inside, should have the lead. Indeed he does, as they head back towards the kink left. Oh, gets it way out of shape, hangs on to it well and doesn't lose any time. Big armful of opposite lock required to hang on to that moment there, and he leads as they come out onto the main straight. The first five beginning to break away now. Dara Cormac down the inside with a big drift, and he's up to fourth place now. There's the first four beginning to get away. 32 Martin Pearson third. No, he's not. He's down the inside. He's into second place. Hugely experienced karter. A lot of respect for that guy out here. He's hugely experienced. He's done some racing in the UK as well, and he's up to second place now. He just caught the leading gap, we would have remembered, from race one, but this one he's right with the leaders and up to second place now, and looking quite threatening in this one. Martin Pearce, good run out of the last hairpin. The last hairpin, of course, you've got to get a good run through there, but you've also got to defend a little bit if you've got one of these heroes behind you, because as we've seen, they can just throw it down the inside and that slows them both down. So here's this battle now. We're looking at Dara Cormac, 49, driving beautifully on his first meeting in Rotax Max, but Martin Pearce now piling the pressure onto IRL Bill Sherlock, and has a look at the outside, switches back to the inside. Does he make it up the inside there? It's very, very close to the front. He didn't on that occasion, but very much on the attack now is Martin Pearce. 49 Dara Cormac in a superb second place. There's that armful of opposite lock again from Bill Sherlock. He really does drive this by the seat of his pants. Great to watch. He leads this one, and that's got him away a little bit from Martin Pearce somehow. But look at Shane Daly, danger man, Shane Daly down the inside with a big drift there, and that puts him up to 4th place. That's probably enough to win this championship. Here he comes. Watch out for him there in 4th. There's the move down the inside. Martin Pearce takes the lead. Little bit of a wave. I'm not sure what that was. Thanks very much, or I'm heading up the road this way. But either way, 32 now leads as they come out onto that middle straight. Down through the kink again, but fighting back is IRL. Sherlock right with him, and Derek Cormack not too far away either, as we said, just graduated from KF3 and mixing it with the big boys in Rotax Max. Getting a little bit of a run there through this long corner. Great onboard shot. They just kissed that inside curve and then throttled wide open for the back straight. Shane Daly looks like he's got by Cormack. He's down the inside. He is up to 3rd place. So Shane Daly very much on a charge. Not only does he want the championship, he wants to win here as well. Remember, he's from Cork, so he'd love to win this one on his home circuit. 49 Derek Cormack fighting back. But Shane Daly now up with the leaders already. In fact, he's all over the back of IRL Sherlock. So Shane Daly very much on a charge here now. Coming out onto the main straight. That's a back marker. That's 85. Thomas Dean. He'd have seen the flags. Daly down the inside. Thomas Dean does a good job. Stays out of the way of the leaders there. The novice. And look at this. 0 up to 2nd place again. This pointing down the road from Shane Daly. I'm not if that's let's chase the leader or I'm heading after the leader. But either way, pointing straight ahead there, Shane Daly. He's in 2nd place. Well, it's worked. He's got away. Whatever the signal was he gave there. But look at Martin Pearce jumping in the cart. Knows he's got a Watergrass Hill specialist closing in on him. There's a good move by Shane Crosby down the inside of Derek Cormack. We spoke about that move before. Into the last hairpin. Here's Shane Daly now on the attack. We're on board with Shane Crosby slowing a little bit. And that's why number 1, Richie Faulkner, his teammate, the man fighting for the championship, perhaps just letting him by a little bit of team orders there because Richie Faulkner suddenly making up 2 places. But it's not going to be enough because Shane Daly leads down the inside of Martin Pearce. Pearce fights back though at the 2nd hairpin. Shane Daly switches back to the inside. They're side by side. He's jumping in the car trying to get a bit of momentum, but he should have enough here. Or does he? He just about gets down the inside and turns in for that hairpin. So a class act now for Daly. He leads the championship. He leads the race. Here they come. He's going to take the win and the championship with a win at his home circuit. Fantastic stuff there for local man Shane Daly. Martin Pearce driving superbly for 2nd from Sherlock, Faulkner, Derek Cormack and Shane Crosby.
Shane, congratulations. That was a fantastic race, particularly the last lap.
It's tough going, it's rough first final, I got caught in a crash at the start and started that one back in 7th and just kind of took a steady first lap and just kind of figured out everything and then just kind of picked them off one by one.
So the first Rotax Max final now, generally the biggest grids of the day. Shane Crosby on pole position for this one. Richie Faulkner right with him, helping him down towards turn 1. And it looks like they'll be 1st and 2nd on board with Bill Sherlock. Has to go around the outside, but Faulkner has that covered in 2nd place. So Shane Crosby it is now. Richie Faulkner right there, number 1 in 2nd place. And these two lead the Rotax Maxes now on the first lap. And in fact, a good couple of corners there by Shane Crosby. Got himself 4 or 5 kart lengths. Let's see if Richie Faulkner can close that one down now. Faulkner in 2nd place, very much involved in the promotion of the Irish Karting Club, but of course he drives every bit as well as he promotes the class. Here he comes now on the back straight. Shane Crosby with the head down, hugely experienced driver Shane Crosby, moving around there, the cart on the brakes, flicks it into the right hand corner, no mistakes, using a lot of track on the way out and beginning to ease away. 35 Bill Sherlock now closing in on 2nd place Richie Faulkner. Number 1 Faulkner for winning the championship last year, of course. Shane Daly won it this year, and he's not out in this one. Doesn't need to take part in this round of the championship because he's already got enough points to wrap up the championship. So Crosby, it is dark skies in the background. We could get a few more drops of rain before this one's out. And of course, they're all on slick racing tyres. On board again with 35 Bill Sherlock, trying to close in on Richie Faulkner, who in turn is trying to stop Shane Crosby from getting away out front. So through this long right-hander, in over that curb again, all trying really hard. Not quite as skittish as the junior classes we saw earlier, but heading back down the longest straight now. And all as late as they can on the brakes. Crosby very confident, doesn't defend. He knows he's got a little bit of a gap behind him, not looking over his shoulder too much. Faulkner under attack now, and Sherlock down the inside with a great move. Late on the brakes, nothing Faulkner can do, has to concede that 2nd place, and in fact loses a little bit of ground on the way back out. So Faulkner now relegated to 3rd place. And the charging Bill Sherlock up to 2nd. Let's see if he can do anything about Crosby. Cutting forward now, that's Andrew Boland in the MVD car. James Boland, 28 as well. Andrew Boland having a look down the inside, 97. We're on board with Ayrton Sherlock and does get it. Both having a real go. 28 goes back at him. James Boland gets in front and gets way out of shape. Again on the brakes, but 97 just hanging on. Great scrap here. And Ayrton Sherlock now having a go side by side with James Boland. for the next place up. Has to concede that one. James Boland gets it, but a nice switch back in their side by side again as they come out of the straight, in a sideways moment for 97. Andrew Boland slows him down slightly there. And somebody, that's young Callanan, I think, another driver up from juniors, and he's caught this group and in fact displaced one of them straight away. So great stuff from the young Galway man. Young Callanan absolutely flying. We're more used to seeing him, as we said, in the junior class, but some of the drivers towards the end of the year moving up to senior max, perhaps just having a go, putting down a marker for next year. Certainly Callanan not being intimidated by these slightly older drivers in front of him, and he's right up there now. Looks like he's going to have a go at 25. Ayrton Sherlock, he's side by side with him, doesn't make it stick on that occasion. Callanan, the third of these carts, the red cart with the red side pods, red helmet, certainly looking very quick at this stage, closing in on 25 and dives down the inside to take another place. So really getting into his stride and getting used to these Rotax Max carts now. That's 28 James Boland alongside us now, and I wonder, can he sit it out round the outside? Doesn't quite. Oh, gets it out of shape again. Loves a little bit of opposite lock. Brave move round the outside through that King. Callanan a little bit wide, and 28 having a go at him now. So this is a great scrap in Rotax Max. The leader's pulling away out front, but these guys really having a go. And Callanan right in. Oh, Faulkner off. Richie Faulkner was right up at the front battling for the lead. He's gone off, so number one not going to finish this one. We're inside the final lap now, and a big attack. It's Shane Crosby leading. Bill Sherlock gets alongside. He actually gets the nose ahead. He's on the outside here though, and Crosby has it all under control, but switches back to the inside. Again, he's on the wrong side for the next corner. It's neck and neck inside the last corner. If Crosby doesn't make a mistake, surely he can hang on here. Indeed he does. A great race by Shane Crosby. Bill Sherlock right with him, and Aaron Sherlock there too. That's the top three in Rotax Max. Then it's Boland, Callanan and Andrew Boland.
It's the end of the season. Have you been happy with your performance so far?
Yeah, I got a bit of a bad start to the start of the season. A few mid-grade finishes, but started to tidy up towards the end. And second lap, we have one final left, but won that one there. It's a good finish, but let's see what we do in the next one.
So the second Rotax Max final, Shane Crosby starts again on pole position, and he leads down into turn one. Very experienced, doesn't leave any gap down the inside. On board with 25 Sherlock, a big schmozzle down into turn one. He's up to second place, it looks like. Here they come back towards us again, and Sherlock already having a go at the leader. So Bill Sherlock starting off this final as he finished the last one all over the back of Shane Crosby. Crosby pushing so hard on cold tyres and sliding the cart around. Really is an aggressive carter, as we said. Lots of experience, and he'll be hard to beat in this one, but Bill Sherlock on a charge. Is that Callanan in third place? Indeed it is. Great stuff from the junior graduate. He's up in third place. He's under pressure though from 25 Ayrton Sherlock. Sherlock down the inside, should be able to take this one. But great stuff from Stephen Callanan, just jumping up into Rotax Max and right on the pace. He's in fourth place and he'll want that third place back surely. Having a go with a good clean run, gets it back. Great stuff. Callanan up to third place now in this one in the early stages. The front two beginning to pull away, and it's Callanan just ahead of Sherlock. Derek Cormack in there too, jumping forward on board again with Ayrton Sherlock, still battling, and he's a lot quicker in a straight line, or else he got a better run out there, not sure, but he's alongside and takes the place from Callanan. But behind them, another junior graduate, 49 Derek Cormack. So the juniors really putting 25 Ayrton Sherlock under pressure. He'll be trying to keep these junior graduates behind him, but they're having a real go and having fun in Rotax Max. So it's 25, 14 and 49 absolutely together on board now with Sherlock. Right in and over that is still a little bit of a wet patch at the apex of that corner, and that maybe slowed him just a little bit. Allowed Callanan almost to get alongside, but just didn't have the power to make that one stick. Had to tuck back in behind him, and he in turn now is under pressure from Dara Cormack. So great stuff from these two young carters, and really having a go at 25, although he's getting away just a little bit now. Ayrton Sherlock out onto the back straight. The leader's well ahead, and Dara Cormack now with a better run gets alongside Callanan, looks down the inside. Callanan saw that one coming, didn't fight it, just sits around the outside there and gets back in behind him. He'll want that place back, but that's allowed Ayrton Sherlock to pull away. 25 just shows you how much ground you lose when you begin that battling. And in fact, Dara Cormack beginning to pull away. I wonder, has Callanan got a problem? There's the leaders in front again, but in fact Callanan has dropped back, so Sherlock it is now under big pressure from 49 Dara Cormack, and looking like he was going to have a go there, but didn't quite, just sitting in his wheel tracks. Looks completely comfortable, Cormack, in these Rotax Max carts, stepping up against some older carters. But of course Dara Cormack very experienced and very highly rated in karting circles. So Sherlock now under pressure, and there goes Cormack. A good run off that last corner can get you down the inside. We've seen it all day, and that's exactly what he's done. And Sherlock back a place now, and Dara Cormack incredibly in a podium position in third place in this one. So Sherlock going to have to fight back. Back to the leaders now inside the final lap, and Shane Crosby still leading, and the relentless challenge of Bill Sherlock from the first corner, still there in second place. still keeping Shane Crosby honest, and these two have got well away from anyone else, just one corner to go, and Crosby looking perfectly comfortable, doesn't have to defend, takes a wide line in there and all the way back on the way out. Shane Crosby is going to take the double win. Great stuff from him. Right with him is Bill Sherlock. Great stuff from Dara Cormack in third place, then Sherlock, Callanan, and a good drive from Natasha Marr in sixth. Shane Daly didn't even have to race at the last round. He takes the championship with 229 points from Richie Faulkner and Shane Crosby in third.